Welcome back. You're watching the third segment of 4 with LAUSD right here on ION.
Again, the sensitivity to not want to have something that's quality in one place and that we are not fixing the current high school. And so the first piece is, as Jeanette said, one of the biggest things that we can do to fix San Pedro is to remove 500 students from it. To remove what's going on now with the crowded hallways, the crowded cafeteria, the auditorium, the textbook room, the crowded counseling offices, and all of that. So that's one of the first things to fix it. The other thing, for those of you who have been to San Pedro High School recently, there are lots of bungalows there. I think some of you may have seen that. And that's not good. And so we are going to be fortunate to be able to use Measure Q money to remove those bungalows and build a nice 2-story building. And I'm going to give Jeanette the chance to talk about how that works with the instructional program and the small learning communities.
Well, definitely there will be administrative supervision at both sites, and we want to make sure that our students are safe. Safety is one of our first and foremost concerns, and then, of course, right up there with safety is the academic program. So, with the opportunity to remove 500 students from our campus, we actually have an opportunity to decrease class size and to use some of our funding that we're allotted at this point to do just that, whereas currently we're not able to because we don't have any space. So class size can be kind of high sometimes. But with the removal of the bungalows, it just really opens up a whole lot of possibilities for our school site. When you bring in bond money, there is also money for technology. And I keep going back to that, but as we're preparing our students for the 21st century and the job skills that they need, we have to have that on campus. And the funding at our school site is such that we're limited. We're extremely limited in the resources that we can provide in terms of technology and making sure that our students are adequately prepared for their job market, their current industry. So with the development of new buildings on campus, especially with the removal of the bungalows, it's very exciting to see the development of specialized areas that relate directly to small learning communities. So we have a business theme, maybe creating, a mock market. We have a Pedro Action League, maybe creating a mock courtroom trial area. Jeanette was just talking about some of the programs that he has, which I'm very interested in for our students. But making use of facilities to provide that real contextualized learning for students is really critical for us.
It's a tricky issue because we have some students and parents who feel that their children are mature and they would like to have them in the middle school. So it's one size, one answer doesn't work for everybody. People mature at different levels, but we decided, based on community input, thank you very much for that, to have this option for 9 schools. And so White Point right here is one of them.
I'm from San Pedro. I went to school here at Mary Star. My dad is a graduate of Pedro High. My grandmother is a graduate, class of 36, when they went to school in tents. So I'm very familiar, because of an earthquake while they were rebuilding San Pedro proper. I'm very familiar with some of the most recent changes in San Pedro High School, and I can't tell you specifically how the gym came to be at our school site instead of an instructional building, but my understanding is that was something that the community had requested for a long time, and so the gym was built. And I think that was right around the time that these discussions started occurring here in this location in regards to the new annex. Of course, my background is also in middle school and working with middle school students in very large campuses. It's really a great benefit to have smaller campuses, not only for high school, but also for middle school. So as our 6th graders return to the elementary school, it's very exciting for the 6th graders because they're gonna be nurtured and there's gonna be more personalization for them as they transition into adolescence. And I'm looking forward to that for my 4th grader who is in a San Pedro public school over at Park Western. When we look at what we're doing here at San Pedro High School, transitioning a little bit to one of the other questions, we're looking at a huge budget deficit, not only in LAUSD, but in the state of California, and we're all aware of that crisis. Jeanette just mentioned that his budgets were being cut 36%, which is just enormous. And my household budget, I don't know if I could afford to live in my house if I had that type of cut. But the district is also being cut, tremendous cuts, and it really comes down to personnel issues. And so we've had to increase class size tremendously. It's temporary. It's not something that we look forward to in the long run. It's not the best, but it is what we have to do because of the crisis. So when I said that we're not currently traveling from room to room, it's because we're putting more students in each room with fewer teachers. And it's not a good scenario. The minute that class size reduces, we're back up to having traveling teachers. And it could happen, this year, next year. It could happen logistically before this annex reopens. And overcrowded conditions are not fun for kids. They're not fun for employees. And especially when you think about employees at a school site, good teachers, they have options. They don't have to work under these conditions. They can go to other schools. And I know we want the finest for our kids. And it really does entail making sure that we have good working conditions, but also the priority, the students have really optimal learning, safe conditions in our school sites. In regards to technology at our current site, it is something that we're looking at grants. We're writing grants. We're looking at how we access community, how we put the word out that we need donated laptops. We need donated, if you're upgrading at home, we'd love to have your leftovers.
Lights and backdrops.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a
additionally, we're also looking at how we spend our dollars and where we put our dollars. So this year alone, we're looking at the end of the year having a tiny bit of a surplus, buying different kinds of technology, which has come down tremendously in price.
More from LAUSD when we come back. Don't go away.